You basically did have a civil war over the issue. You mean the Civil War? Because that wasn't over that issue. Or do you mean one actually with Texas? Which is why... Was Texas the Confederates? I thought Texas was mostly neutral in the Civil War. I admit my American knowledge is kind of lacking on that matter. Anglo women have been taken to the streets in planned demonstrations, not against Mexican occupation, but for women's rights. While generally critical of Mexico's action, suffragettes have decided to make the best of our progressive government, and have thus petitioned Mexico to succeed where Washington failed, officially extend Mexico's constitutional rights of women to these territories. 5% factory output. Grant universal rights for all women. Crippling my political power, but I think that's what we want to do. Texas was in the Confederacy, okay. Were they actually active within the Confederacy, though? Because I don't remember hearing much about Texas armies. It was always Virginia and South Carolina. And Georgia. They actually tried to secede when the Civil War happened. When it was over, kind of nullified all off that. Okay. And that's something I'm going to have to look up. Most of the fighting was in the east, but there were actions in Texas. Improved infantry equipment and grand battle plan. Haha! More doctrine. I want prepared defense. Because organisation is really useful. It is 39. Let's get the 39 guns. And we can build more stuff. Please do. Right. Who else has large areas where we can build more factories? Texas. Just upgrade. Texas. Again. Oh, right. That's where my civilian factories went. It is because of the reducing stability, which is crippling my production ability. Now I understand. Meanwhile, your military just continues to grow. Texas versus White Supreme Court case in 1869 essentially proved legally that the states of the US are unable to secede, something Texas can but can't without another war. Article 1, Section 1 states, Texas is a free and independent state subject only to the Constitution of the United States. It doesn't state subject to the President or collective will of the other states, or subject to the Senate Congress, only the Constitution. And the last battle of the Civil War took place in Texas. Okay. So does that mean technically, if Texas maintained the Constitution of the United States, it could secede? And then, of course, the next law would be to change the United States Constitution, which is then maintained by the Texans, but I'm being slightly facetious on that one. In summary, it's complicated. If you ask Texas, they'll say yes. If you ask anyone else, the answer is no. Well, clearly there's only one state that counts. The biggest one in Mexico right now. Ottoman Empire declared war on Hashemite Arabia, rather than vice versa. Interesting. And then status of the northern religion is done. Let's recruit those vigilantes. Because I don't really want the 2 secret police divisions. Don't think I need them. I think that's more if you're at war with the Americans at the time. And the Ottoman Empire is at war with the Hashemite Arabia. And it declared them. There's no one attacking them from behind. Did Persia join? Yes. It's usually a bad thing when Persia joins against the Ottomans. They can generally handle the others. Alright, it is 39. September of. And I could totally have had some field hospitals by now. And we have lots of stuffs and things, so we could probably, except for the manpower, have improved these. And now that we have tanks, I would like to add some tanks to this. Which we can just about afford. And we're going to call this Vroom, Vroom, Bang, Bang. Save. And these will definitely need retraining. While Mexico has historically been a Catholic country, the Angelos take the religious heritage of England. Protestantism. The people in the territories, Texas in particular, are deeply religious, so the committee has to tread carefully on the religious policy. It would be foolish, however, to ignore intelligence reports from our spy service, which emphasise how the local churches are condoning, aiding and abetting the insurrectionists, many of whom are zealous Protestants themselves. No, we're enforcing our anti-clerical laws. And we have got religious unity. Minus 867. Here we go. Communion of France declared war on the German Empire. And so it begins. And now I really need manpower. Nationalist coup in Right Ruthenia. We're going to get rid of 550, so we're going to still be in the down 500 or so. Russian Republic declared war on Right Ruthenia. That means Russia and Germany are at war. Germany is fucked. Send aid to France. Can't do anything. Well, considering France is going to win, the final struggle between the forces of the proletariat and the imperialist bourgeoisie has begun. On the Western Front, forces of the Commune of France are trying to break through German lines and bring freedom to the oppressed German workers and peasants. Many radical politicians are suggesting to support France by sending volunteers and supplies to speed up the unavoidable victory of the proletariat. Send them aid. This isn't a DLC, this is a mod called Kaiserreich, where basically it asks the question, what would have happened if Germany had won the Second World War? No, First World War. What would have happened if Germany won the First World War? And we are just finding out because the Second World War has just begun. Now, the problem with the Confederacy fighting only the defensive war is that the North was outdoing them industrially. They had to do something to counter that. Otherwise, the North would simply outproduce them. And, in fact, arguably did. Another thing which, quite interesting, but if you look at it from the more foreign policy perspective, another thing which crippled the Confederacy is the growth of cotton in India, because one of the main exporters for Confederate cotton was Britain, because Britain was going through the Industrial Revolution at the time. But as soon as the Indian cotton came up, the Confederacy lost one of its biggest markets, which meant that the Confederate war chest was much reduced. Also, it made British intervention far less likely, because that could have happened if Indian cotton hadn't taken off, because Britain would still be reliant on Confederate cotton, and Britain would want Confederate cotton productivity to remain high, which required slavery. But instead they had massive Indian manpower, and cotton seemed to take to India pretty well, so they didn't need the Confederates in the end. Engineer companies, recon companies. I think I'm going to go with engineer because I have a feeling we'll be on the defensive. Master Matt has returned! Huzzah! We'll hold a parade in your honour. And we're going to get rid of the armoured division. And you didn't require retraining. Well, that's because you haven't actually got the new stuff yet, because you don't have the manpower to actually use it. So you have the new tanks and stuff sitting all shiny in their new boxes, but you don't have anyone to drive them. And it's rather hard to go vroom vroom bang bang when you have no one actually driving the thing. How's the construction going? Even slower. Marvellous. Now the game has slowed right down because of all the fighting going on. It's strange, that. I'm amazed the Civil War is still so unchanged. In fact, it kind of looks like the Carlists have pushed the C&T back. Meanwhile, the Kingdom of Spain's pushed the Carlists back. It could still go any direction. Well, it looks like there's still something of a stalemate there. Ukraine should be able to do a lot of damage against Russia simply by how... Oh no, Ukraine has their own civil war to deal with. And in fact, Ukraine joined the Internationale. Has Russia joined the Internationale? No, Russia's just on its own attacking White Ruthenia. Not Germany. White Ruthenia is not a puppet. They got independence. Huh, okay, so Russia is not fighting Germany, which is probably why Germany is doing so well against France, because France has declared war way too late, meaning that Germany has actually had time to recover its economy and military. Which is the problem that Valinoma faced in our game. Now you're starting to get some manpower back, which means you need some training. Oh, come on, focus. I need these vigilantes so I can get rid... Oh no, I wouldn't quite get rid of it. That'd still be in disaster. Once I've ended the rebellion, that would definitely get rid of the disaster and probably even drop us to low stability rather than very low. Minus 500, still be at minus 300. No, it's still in very low. Disappointed! At least we're getting a nice surplus of guns and tanks and stuff like that. This does make me happy. I can also get rid of you. I don't need horses anymore. Down to just 2 division templates. All I'm lacking are the Marines. Esoteric Havlism. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that. Evening, you Fenchef. What happened to my political power? I spent it. No, it's been spent on integrating the northern territories, basically telling all of the Americans that they now need to speak Spanish, banning Protestantism, giving women full suffrage, that type of thing. Why am I playing as filthy communist Mexico? And I could have played as glorious syndicalist Mexico. Oh, you noticed. Because it looked the most interesting. Like, no, that's not necessarily true. Syndicalism did look pretty good just because there's more choices, but I don't know. I liked the Totalist tree. That's the main reason I played as the Totalist. Building the tank casino. That is true. That did factor too. Junta Mexico for the win. Junta Mexico didn't sound that interesting. I was very tempted by Fascist Mexico though. Oh, Syndicus, sorry. Who would the Syndicists be? Syndo-anarchists, I understand that, but what faction would they be? I don't know. Ahmet Gul, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that. Need to go to the junta first and then the coup. Oh, you mean the capitalists? Market liberals? So that wouldn't be syndicist, that would be liberal anarchist. Or, what's it called? Anarcho-capitalist. Which is a freaking stupid idea. Yeah, let's let companies take control of the judiciary and the police. Great idea. Syndicist to the right. Oh, that thing! That's the National Populists. Isn't it? No, it is actually this. Yeah, National Populists. That's the fascists. So we were in fact talking about kind of the same thing. Which Kaiserreich ideology is closest to you? You mean me personally? That's a good question. Probably social liberal. Maybe social democrat. I used to be social conservative, but considering the way that the conservatives here in Britain, they would definitely be social conservatives, have completely screwed the country up. I'm definitely not supporting them anymore. Probably social liberal. I'm pretty centrist. Okay, so we're ending the rebellion at last. Huzzah! Which will give me a whopping 300 political power. And we'll get the reintegration of the Mexican Secession. Or the Mexican Session, rather. Yeah, Lib Dems, definitely. Like, I was really legitimately pissed off with the Lib Dems for quite a long time because of the way that they treated students and the reneging on the promise not to raise tuition fees. Considering the damage other parties have done in the meantime, I can forgive that. And I'm pretty sure they've learnt from that mistake. Which is why they didn't go into a coalition with the Conservatives this time. Is there really a viable centrist party in England? There was, until the Liberal Dems just completely screwed themselves. They could have been much more clever about how they handled their coalition. They were kingmakers and they just squandered it. What do I think of Corbyn? It's just Canada declaring war on the Union of Britain. Okay, cool. I don't really know. Yeah, CSA definitely has a few troops. And this is why I'm not kind of pushing my attack right now. I was for a while. I was really getting ready to go to war. And I'm really quite pleased I didn't, because I didn't realise that my economy would crash quite so hard. Back to the question, what do I think of Corbyn? That's a hard question. In some ways I quite like him, because he seems to have seized the youth vote, and I think that's a good thing, because for too long the young voice in Britain has just been ignored. But then again, I think he holds too close to his socialist principles, and that will in the long term damage the country. He's too radical socialist. I think some social principles are good, but not quite so far. What's wrong with May? Everything. I really cannot stand May. She actually makes me angry just thinking about how bad she is. All she cares about is maintaining power. She will do anything, including completely screwing the country over, to maintain power. After her atrocious attitude and behaviour during the election, she should have resigned, but she refuses to. Like, that was her election to lose, and she damn well nearly did. Yeah, politics, sorry. My channel is usually pretty politically charged, so that is not something I'm going to apologise for. I'm a political science major. I'm always going to be interested in politics, even though I am super turned off by it right now. I see from the outside I quite like Merkel. I understand there's a lot of downsides, but I don't know. She seems to be doing a relatively good job of holding the country together, and I quite like her stance on Europe. Very, very pro-Europe. But then again, I kind of dislike her stance on Greece. I think Greece needs to be given a little bit more leeway to actually allow itself to recover, for example. Youth vote is an ephemeral force, easily distracted and disappointed. True. But considering the damage that's been done to the youth, i.e. leaving the EU, that's like a massive chunk of young opportunities just gone, I think is really, really bad. And also, increase in tuition fees. There is absolutely no social mobility at the moment. We can join the US in the bad kids corner. I'm pretty sure we already have. Who did I vote for? I can't, I'm not British. Let's just say I didn't vote for Trump. Gringo riots. Political power increase. Good. No, decrease. Bad. Very bad. Oh, I can make better guns. Make me more better guns. Huzzah! What construction am I doing? I am still doing infrastructure. Which is fine, except for the fact that I really want more guns. More better shooty things. Exactly. That's what Mexico needs. More better shooty things. CSA, like, doubled their numbers. And their industry is still hugely bigger than mine. Once I've recovered from the disaster, I think I will catch up pretty quickly. Yeah, I mean, I will always welcome political discourse on the channel, so long as you abide by my #1 rule. Be nice. Like, I might agree or disagree with you quite vehemently if you believe certain political things, but I'll never flame you for it. I might call you an idiot, but I won't flame you for it. Right, that was engineers companies. We were in 1940, so we can get these. Can't get those. We could get new planes. In fact, yeah, that is something I have not been doing enough of. What am I waiting for to attack them? See this massive negative up here right now? That's what. Attack by Anglo guerrillas. The Anglo insurrectionists in the north have launched another full-scale attack. Actions of the... Oh, bloody hell. Riots occur. Actions of the Anglo resistance. We are going to say that you're damaging the infrastructure again. Easily repaired. Our ideology has grown. Don't actually need it. It's already at 91%, which is more than high enough. Slothstronaut and MC Dragon, thank you very much for the follows. I appreciate that. Slothstronaut. That's a great name. I like that. Oh dear. Germany, what's happening? Oh dear. Germany, what's happening? I mean, yay! France is winning. Now I just need the Entente to come in from behind and wreck the Commune. I mean, lose horribly and really, really badly in every single possible way. Minus 700. I wanted the minus 300 to get rid of that. Now I'm going to be at minus 400 still. At least that's not a disaster. I think, no offence, you should initially have taken the AUS territory instead of fighting up to Denver. I wasn't at war with the AUS. I was only at war with the USA. And I didn't have the political power to justify the war. And it would have taken a year to do anyway. and in which case I wanted to justify in the AUS, but they were already being absolutely caved in by the CSA. So I decided to justify in the CSA in the end. Although it now occurs to me that that has probably run out. No, it hasn't. Oh, it's still progressing. Ha! Still hasn't even completed. Currently paused because of the lack of political power. 2 days! It was 2 days away from completion. Oh, will you naff off? 10 days. Yeah, Germany and Kaiserreich plays like an absolute freaking idiot. I don't know what it is. In the previous version of Kaiserreich, the balance between the Commune and Germany was fantastic. That war went on for years. Since the update, not so much. Germany just gets ruffle stumped. Like, actually, I think in terms of balance, Spain's balance is just spot on. Unless, of course, they do something stupid like losing Burgos. Sorry, Madrid. It's absolutely spot on. Okay, we have finally recovered from the stupid rebellion. So I think it might be time to work on... No, we're not going to take a focus for a while. I'm going to explain to chat. We are not taking a focus, and to the comments on YouTube more to the point, because we need to recover our political power. Focuses cost upkeep of 1 a day, so that is 1 a day extra that we are getting to recover. Once we're down to maybe low stability, preferably average stability, then I'll start taking a focus again. Reintegration of the Mexican Socialist. After many years, the extensive resettlement, intensive propaganda efforts, and numerous crushed uprisings, organised revolt against Mexican governments has largely subsided. While some resistance persists among old militia extremists, Angelos at large have gradually come to terms with our rule, and settlers are now a significant minority in the north. With Los Territorios Reconquistos firmly under our control, we've won unhindered access to its resources and industry. Oh, we gain cores. Sweet. And manpower, which immediately disappears. Ooh, and another doctrine thing. Huzzah. Breakthrough and soft attack. Sounds good. No, still not a focus. I will, however, start training some of these bad boys. Hell, I might even start training some of these. Turkestan declared war on Persia, while Persia is fighting the Ottomans. And the Ottomans can still possibly hold. Hey, noms from Russia. Political power is digging a hole deep enough you're going to need a spaceship to get it back to positive. I love Luxembourg being Switzerland in this war. Yeah, they've done quite an impressive job of not dying. That's because they joined the Internationale, that's why. They're a French puppet.